Yes, chef. It's Erico Blueberry time. We've got eggs on the menu, but before we get to that, this is an unassuming Destiny podcast. My name is chillybin.
Thank you, Chef. This is Meckii.
I think that's probably the most like all over the shop one I've done of those. But it's been a few weeks. We've been out with some life stuff, some holidays. The last episode we did was right before Christmas, if that's something you celebrate. Also, right before the end of the Gregorian calendar year. We live in countries where those are public holidays, so we got time off and people are doing stuff. And we weren't here talking about a video game, but we were playing it a little bit. We got 3 weeks of story to talk about.
I fell off.
It's like the last of this season's storyline before we go into the long winter of, I guess, a content hole that we're yet to see how they're going to fill before the release
Didn't
of the
they
final
say
shape.
they were going to do the Destiny recap thingy?
Oh, I don't know. Sure. Anyway, we're back. Hi. Eggs kept happening in our absence. The game keeps gaming. I played it a bit. I also started and finished Cyberpunk over the break. I was just doing
Start coming and they don't stop coming.
Doing other shit, as we are often suggesting people do, especially at the moment. But hey, let's do a quick recap on like 3 weeks of story.
Yeah.
So going back 2 weeks, what I wrote in the notes, and I'm trying to remember what actually happened, is that we found an egg corrupted with taken gunk. Do you remember this bit?
Yeah, and Wyvern was angry.
Yeah.
Remember I was making fun of her that week for being so angry.
Is that the one where she said...
thieves.
Yes, that's where she said sneak thieves. I remember that. I don't remember much else about that week. But we got another variation on the theme that is this season in doing all of the activities in the Dreaming City all over again that I haven't done in years, probably, like Blind Well, Ascendant Realm challenges, Ascendant time trial things. Those kept coming back.
I don't think I've ever done those.
Well, I remember doing the Ascendant challenges because you needed them for like unlocking certain weapons or emblems or whatever. Like if you're trying to complete the Dreaming City collection, you needed to do them. But doing the time trial, like doing them under the certain time trial thresholds, was not required for much, I think. But I ended up doing it inadvertently with the one that we had to do that week. So it was fun. I had to remember how to do the Ascendant challenge that week. I had to look it up because I was like, I don't remember this and it's not obvious. And I probably would have appreciated some guidance because it had been a while since anyone had done them. But I got it done.
Yeah, actually.
And that was kind of where we got the reveal from Riven that Savathun's Wish actually only allows for sending one person into the Traveller. And then there's some stuff where Osiris is like, oh, we can do that, and then that person can open the door, and then everyone else can get in. And the way he explained it was like hella confusing because he's talking about like using the veil to do it in some way. And at the time, I didn't really understand what the fuck he was on about. And he was like, I've got to go back to the books or whatever.
Bye.
Yeah, I got to go like study the dark web. Someone will post it on a forum somewhere.
If you don't mind, I've got to go back to my Tor browser and do some reading.
Yeah, I've got to go put myself back on an FBI watch list.
Amazing.
He seems like the type though, right? Like he would be on a list somewhere.
Oh yeah,
because he's typed the wrong search term into Google, and now they think he's trying to build a bomb or something.
He downloaded the Anarchist cookbook out of curiosity.
Yeah,
now he's on a list.
Yeah. Oh. So that was a couple of weeks ago. That's I think all I've got written down for that. In amongst that on the Bungie store. You posted the Riven plush toy.
I found a baby wyvern.
It's like a wall of notes of like story notes, story notes, story notes, and there's just this little thing, and you saying, "I need
Buy
it.
me this.
I need a trinket."
I need more wares.
You do, even though all of them are out of the shot right now.
Aw. I need to rearrange my room for the pod.
Yeah, it needs to be basically right behind you or over your right shoulder.
I could do that.
Would actually kind of work. But anyway, we can figure that out. Then last week's story was Riven basically saying, we've tracked down the last egg, but you can't have it yet. Or words to that effect. It was basically like, oh, it's stuck somewhere. We had to go gather an offering to the Oracle. Remember doing that in the Dreaming City? I sure forgot about it. Where you go to Mara's throne room. And even though she's not there, she's in the fucking helm. I can't remember why we had to go there, but we did, and it required more blind well. And it was like doing the blind well this season, like in the week that the story requires you to do it, took me back to like when Forsaken had come out and like when all that shit was still relevant because people were doing it a lot. And it was cool to just like load into a blind well. It's already at tier 3. We beat it, pushed it heroic, and that's half of the mission done. And then that whole group just stayed in there, ran it back, and then we all just left. It was fucking sick.
We emoted at each other and left.
Yeah. Everyone was emoting at the tower in the middle of it, waiting for someone to like put the juice in. And then someone did, and then we just killed a bunch of stuff, and it was good. Yeah. Just farm all of those enemies. And then, yeah, last week was when like Osiris saying only one person can go through or whatever. Last week was when Crow basically says, I'll do it, put me in,
Me
coach.
do.
Because this is where like the plan / theory is kind of revealed, that he's like, oh, me and Mara have this like connection that can span distances. It seems like a magical like sibling
I think it's
bridge.
like the paracausal expansion of like a twin bond in real life.
Yeah, something like that. But then basically saying that like once he goes through the portal and is inside the Traveler, that connection is how they're going to build the bridge using the veil somehow. Still don't really understand. I don't think we're meant to understand how that shit works, other than it being like incest magic. What are we doing here?
They will not beat the allegations. There will be no beating those allegations this season.
It's just like this big question mark. It's like, well, it's not proven either way. You can't tell me. Yeah, I literally wrote, this is weird sibling magic I don't understand. They keep referring to it like it's a story of like, what is it? Ager and Riga, is that the names from the stories about them?
Are you... Is that the names, or are you just thinking Aqua Regia?
No, in my head I had to go back to like that stasis gun that we got is Ager's scepter, right? And that was in reference to one of them, and the other one was
Ager and Riga, yeah.
The other one was like the letters in a different order. But it is, now that you say that, very close to the Sleep Token track Aqua Regia.
Ager,
I want that remix.
Ager and Riga are what is it? A palindrome when you flip the word? Oh no, it's a mirror.
Yeah.
So if you Riga is the mirror of Ager
reversed,
in terms of spelling, yeah.
Yeah, so basically a lot of signs to say like there's something connecting these two that is more than just them being siblings. They're fucking. They're probably fucking.
I don't know. I've seen some drawings on Twitter that have indicated yes.
Yes.
I've been on Wattpad. I know what the people are writing.
Dude, the only other note I wrote is Osiris gonna make a bridge between them. Seems weird, not how bridges work. I don't know. I don't know what that veil's up to.
Jima would beg to differ.
Yeah. God. just flashbang me. It's like too many sex jokes going through my head. Then, yeah, so before we get to this week's story, in between all of that, we actually did play some Destiny together last week, right, at the weekend.
We shot some constellations.
We did. So, like, with the Wishkeeper bow, there was, like, the Catalyst quest thing. There's, like, one of them that's dropping every week to get a different part of the crafting, so that you can put your, like, Catalyst traits and shit in it. And I think all three of us that did this had one or both of the quests up to the step that were run the Starcrossed exotic mission on Legend, and then you'll get both of them kind of ticked off. So we did that, and that was kind of rough.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
There's definitely some spots though, like with those unstoppable champs and like needing to pick up one or both of the buffs to like be able to hit the enemies, and yeah, that stuff took a bit of getting used to.
I think once I got off my solar build and back onto my little friend's build, the Void build, it definitely ran a lot smoother, because at one point during big battles I was sending 2 or 3 old gods out to
that was really good.
This boss, and then the main boss, and then this group of enemies over here is annoying the shit out of me, so I'll send one over to them.
Yeah.
Just running laps being like, pick this one, send it there. Pick this one up. Alex like, what are you doing?
It works.
I have 3 sons.
Yeah, and then there's me running around with that like Wishkeeper suspend build, and just like that was actually really helpful for just like slowing the encounter down and giving us breathing room, because like the old gods are doing their thing, but it's like, cool, now this group is just in the air and they're not shooting us, and that was enough to be like, oh, I'm almost dead.
Sometimes I'd see you suspend a group of ads, and I'd just be like, time for a sun, and I would send them over to your group of suspended ads. And we're over here fighting, and those ads are just dying one by one after being devoured. And I'm getting healing from Devour, and I'm like, this is great.
It's kind of the nice part about like that Legend version of the mission, meaning that the enemies are harder to kill, is the Wishkeeper bow. The meter, like, it requires 6 charges, and you get a charge by either killing something or landing a precision hit. So if an enemy is taking ages to get down, but they've got a very hittable crit spot, they can just sit there and hit it 6 times and then suspend it. And then while they're suspended, kill them. And then I'm just like looping through that meter and just constantly putting traps down. So yeah, getting that loop down in terms of like how it feels to play it and get it reliably repeatable was good. And then I also went back to the crafting bench after running through that and saw that one of the like catalyst perks eventually is that the traps will last longer, and I really want that, because I'm already at the point where I can get like 2 of them out at once, maybe 3 if there's a ton of ads around. But that would just allow me to just put a bunch of them out there, depending on how long it extends it. That is very exciting to me.
Yeah, actually, I had a aha moment doing the legendary too, where I just got a really good pattern going with volatile, and then just feeding all of my my stuff. And like it got to a point with my gnawing hunger that if I was popping things inside the old god's radius, it was instantly giving me my rift back almost.
Oh, right.
And I was like, oh shit, like I'd finally hit that pattern that I'd been aiming to hit when I built.
Yeah. And
then just out of nowhere it clicked. And I was like, oh, this is what it's meant to be like. Okay.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, then I don't know, it feels like we kind of cheesed the boss, because it was like that one bit where it's like you have to drop down, pick up the buffs, and then walk into the room, but there's like that transparent kind of Vex shielding through some of the gaps. But if you take in Wish Ender, I think it's a bug, but you can just shoot at it and hit it through those shields, through those like walls.
I was doing damage through it.
Yeah, okay.
I was doing damage through that wall, but I think it's because I'd found myself a little buggy corner.
Yeah, it might be one of those things like your gun is actually, the end of your gun is coming out the other side of it.
I had to like give you guys space so that you guys could do damage, and then also I was keeping an eye out for detainments.
Those
Because what I could do is
frustrating.
I could pop those detainments really quickly, so that's what I was trying to do. And then I realized if I turned slightly when the boss was close to us, I was like damaging it.
Right.
So I would go down, seek an old god onto it, refresh everything, come back up, and slowly do damage. But it was only with my auto rifle.
Yeah. I'm not mad about doing that. We got it done. We met the success conditions for that mission. Who cares?
I mean, towards the end of the boss fight, we ended up in the arena anyway because it got into a weird spot. So we ended up just journeying out there anyway.
Then, like, the boss was the only thing left. So we're like, oh, we're not going to die here. We'll just run around and hit it until it's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good mission. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's good because I'll have to do it at least once more on Legend to get the rest of those quests done. I've already got one sitting there that needs to be done. So we'll get there. We've got months, literal months to get it done. And then this week's story, the end of the season storyline, all comes together. We get the last egg. We deliver it. There's a whole bunch of chat between Riven and Mara, basically them going like, we've both held up our ends of the bargain. Isn't that weird? Isn't that surprising? And yeah, I guess it is, given the history. But I think, based on some of the stuff Riven says, I feel like she's not fucking with the wish because the deal that was struck means that the Ahamkara live on through us finding all the eggs. Because yeah, there was a bit of chatter there of like, we could have been friends, we could have like, done a lot together, etc. The funniest thing to me, like right before you go to do the wish, you get the pop-up of like, here's your new objective, and it says go to the wall of wishes to make the 15th wish, which I don't know if it's intentionally a callback to all of the like tinfoil hat bullshit that people used to do about the 15th wish, but just having it very explicitly say you're going to go and do it now, I found it very funny.
Yeah.
I remember watching all those videos of people going like, oh, it's got to be this, and if you do these 6 things in this order in this amount of time, then you'll get the 15th wish, and then X will happen. They never knew what the outcome was. It's very my uncle works at Nintendo energy.
You stand inside Zavala's model and emote, and then go to the Dreaming City within 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just had flashbacks with all of those sort of like theories, flashbacks to when I was a kid and people being like, this is at a time, for example, when like Crash Bandicoot 2 was the latest Crash Bandicoot game. And someone's like, oh, I've got Crash Bandicoot 5 at home. It's like, you're literally an idiot. Or someone saying like, oh yeah, someone literally said my uncle works at Nintendo to me once. And they're like, oh, if you go in this room, there's a ladder and there's water going into the hole. And if you go down the hole, you get Mewtwo or whatever the fuck. It's like, you're high and you're 6. What are you talking about? Idiot. But I had that energy. And then all I have is screenshots of dialogue that I took. I didn't actually take notes because I was just lazy and trying to like get to the end of the story and just like see how they were going to sort of wrap it up. But you're like, as you load into what is the beginning of the last wish raid to go to the wish wall, Riven just says, has the time come for my final meal, in this like really jovial tone.
I am ready to die.
Yeah.
Please release me from this world.
But yeah, saying things like, so the generation of Ahamkara turns over one last death to feed new life. I think she's talking about her own death in the sense that like the spell kind of conjuring her will go away. Because she says that like, I can grant this wish, but then the Techians won't be able to like hold this version of me anymore.
And yeah, basically granting the wish is guaranteeing the safety of her clutch.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
even the goopy egg.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then that final egg is actually like in Mara's throne world, like tucked away.
Yeah, which is so funny.
Yeah, and
Like, who would have thought?
Yeah, there's some like I would say speculative lines that follow that around like, oh, were you planning to like grow this as your own or like do all these things with it? And they're like, I guess we'll never know. Like, does this mean eventually like Ahamkara will just be in the world as like a breed of animals that are just out there doing stuff or something like that? Like, I don't know if they'd be to the extent of like the enemy races that we have in the game where they've got like all these different tiers of units of different sizes and strengths. It would just be like, there are Ahamkara.
Well, there's only 13, right? No. How many weeks are we in?
6.
So there's 7. 6 or 7.
Yeah,
right?
I think the storylines are usually like 6 weeks long.
So there's 7.
Something like, yeah, because we got one out of Season of the Witch.
And they're bubbies.
Yeah.
So
But
I'm
they could
still
breed, you know? It's a whole thing.
I'm still hoping for baby domesticated Ahamkara. I want that so bad.
Yeah.
Just little Ahamkara running around. How cute.
Especially if they're like brought up being taught the, I guess, altruism of Taranis, of like actually trying to work together.
Cyrus educating a little classroom of Ahamkara whim.
But like teaching them away from like, you know, subvert the wish so that you get more food, but like, you know, tweak it a little so you get a little snack, or like, you know, trying to get it closer to like working together as opposed to like that hostile version of like, I'm going to subvert your wish because it means I get to eat more.
Yeah, I can see them in future stuff becoming a point of contention, as in other races wanting them because of their power.
Yeah, or folks like Shax and that who are in the Great Hunt being like, what the fuck are you doing with all these?
No, I reckon Shax will be like, give me the baby.
Well, he had a lot of regret about it.
I hold the baby.
What about old Cosmodrome mate
Saladin.
Shorhan, who just like has Ahamkara armor on? Like, was he involved? I don't know.
Saladin and stuff, yeah. I don't know. I could see them becoming a point of contention as in one of them gets kidnapped or a race wants one of them because of their power. Like if they do stick around in the way that we hope they do, they could be a very good plot point for different seasons, what do they call them? Chapters after
I think the
final shape.
I think they're calling them episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which are just like chunky seasons.
They could very well become a point of focus for a couple of those seasons where it's like, oh, the Scorn want them. Oh no, the Scorn's kidnapped a baby.
Yeah.
A dingo ate my Scorn ate my baby.
Scorn ate my whim.
A Screeb ate my whim.
That sounds like you're trying to hide 2 different sex words behind like cutesy language. Screeb ate my whim.
Show Screeb.
Oh, my quivering whim.
Beans.
I wasn't ready for that phrase to come out of my own face. What else happened with the story? We get the egg, we give it back, the wish happens. Then we get this like cutscene at the end where Crow basically jumps through the portal. They do a little, like him and Mara do a little hand touch thing. It's very like, to your point, allegation reinforcing.
There will be no beating the allegations this week.
No. But yeah, them just reinforcing that whole theme of like, they've got this magic connection because they touch hands and it looks like a secret handshake. Like, okay. But then, yeah, he runs up and jumps.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Just like,
he disappears.
Daps him up like, you're good, homie. Get through that.
They play patty cake.
Yeah.
Fucking Roger.
Get out of here. Yeah, and then he jumps through the thing. Mara like kind of sparkles a little bit Like there's some,
Ooh.
like because that effect started happening, and I was like, is she about to just disintegrate in front of us? Have they fucked this up? Is this not actually going to work? That would have been very funny.
Ah.
It just like melts. Oh dang,
Into stardust.
Savathun, you've done it again. Would have gotten
Like
away with it too.
it's like Scott Pilgrim. She explodes into glimmer, and our Guardian's like, ooh. She explodes into bright dust.
Yeah, but yeah, that happens, and I think Petra says something. She's like, "Oh, it means he's on his way." Like basically, yeah, it worked. So yeah, it seems like this actually will work in terms of building a bridge to get inside the fucking thing. Like then you go talk to Mara in the helm, and she's like pretty nonchalantly just like references the pale heart of the traveler and like, oh, we'll go in there, blah blah blah. I do kind of like talking about, you know, the last episode. I think I brought up that theory that I'd seen around of like, oh yeah, there's some line deep in a lore book where Crow basically wishes. There's a he uses the word wish in a sentence that you could construe as a wish to bring Cade back.
Yeah, he says in like a ghost message or something. He's like, I miss Cade, or not I miss Cade, because he obviously fucking hated Cade when Cade was involved.
But it's something like I wish I could apologize or something like that.
Yeah, or like I wish I could take that back, or something along those lines. But he definitely says I wish.
Yeah. And then I thought, well, he's going to turn up inside the Traveler by himself, and that's the place where we have seen Cade in the trailers. Are they just going to like sit down and hash this out? Like, let's squash the beef 2024, sorry.
A montage of them bonding in the Pale Heart to the boys are back in town.
God. And then Crow just becomes a dude bro like Cade. Like, oh, that would be the worst. Two of them? Yuck.
Ew. I mean, they both suck as is. I don't want them in the same room
also,
again.
Like, Cade having fully died could be a little bit emo like Crow is. Like, let's go, sad boys hours.
Sharing fucking mixtapes of like Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. Just over that little campfire from the that we saw in the trailer.
Ohio is for lovers coming out of Glint.
The last city is for lovers, thank you.
King for a Day by fucking Kellen Quinn.
So yeah, it's
I'm in love with an emo girl by MGK.
You can do better.
Because he's a grifty emo.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was before we started recording, you were like, yeah, the story's kind of just over, huh? But
it's over, and it's very Crow centric.
It is. I mean, I have appreciated them giving him a redemptive arc.
Yeah, there's a server that I'm in where my nickname in the server is #1 Uldren / Crow hater.
Yeah.
And the admins gave me that name.
It's very good, actually. I thought that was a thing you did.
Nope. The admins gave me that name.
Yeah, like as much. I think to expand on what I mean is like I like the idea of him having a redemptive arc. I don't like how they're writing him to like almost be fighting it half the time. It's like, dude, just like be better. Like
just
you're being given such a leg up. Just be dude, be better.
You could almost be a safe space, but you're not.
No grown man should be called Crow.
Unpack that.
Season of the therapy session. Let's go. Just one long dialogue sequence.
Oh, I don't want to know more about that man, let alone what's happened in his childhood.
Yeah, actually, me neither.
I don't need to know whether he's beating the allegations or not.
Goodness. But yeah, I guess like I wasn't expecting any kind of huge reveal here at the end of the season's story, because we kind of already knew how it was going to wrap up going into the final shape, right? Like we had the reveal of the wish at the end of the last season of The Witch, and then I don't see how you end one season saying that and then don't conclude the next season with us making the wish. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to spend 6 weeks of a story going, actually, no, it's this other thing because we worked out that's not going to work halfway through. Like, it's not enough time to completely change the storyline. And then it's just like, cool, now we've done it. I guess Crow will give us a email when he's done it. And then Osiris will be like, cool, I'm going to just put the veil into the socket and something. I don't know. We'll see.
Fucking Mara's just mid-conversation like, he's ready.
Yeah.
I'm getting a message.
Yeah, it's just... Now we just got what? It's January now. Final Shape comes out in... It's either
February,
June...
March, April,
It's either June
May,
or July.
June.
It's July or June?
Still got 6 months.
Sick. Man, I'm going to play so many other video games.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll still check in with Destiny. We'll still see what's going on. We'll find stuff to talk about here. Maybe we'll come up with different things we could talk about that aren't necessarily about like story updates, because there won't be any. We'll just be like, hey,
play some mayhem.
Yeah, play some mayhem. Talk about that. Talk about weird guns, weird builds.
Weird guns, weird builds. Find weird lore.
Yeah, maybe we should try and get some raids happening in that time, because it's been a while. And that's good stuff to talk about. There's
Been a while.
Like, I would say that the last few raids that have come out, I've only done once, just because the way our usual raiding group has kind of gone with scheduling and stuff like that. So that'd be good.
I've done Vow twice, maybe. Crota once.
Yeah. I think Kingsfall maybe twice I've done.
Kingsfall once. Yeah.
Yeah. You do some stuff like that. Maybe I'll try and finish.
Another classic cursed Deepstone run.
Oh, I would actually love that so much. Especially with all these new weird builds we've all put together. Ah. Yeah. That would be pretty good. Yeah, so we'll find stuff to do, you know? Like, the game is still fun. I mean, I'm not a massive PvP player. I hear there are still issues with that. But that's fine. I just don't engage
I got
with it.
my fucking title gilded.
Yeah,
I don't have to touch PvP ever again.
That is the thing I need to do, is like some titles, triumphs, finish the season pass, you know, little cleanup things here and there. I still haven't gilded dredging for this season. I'm close.
And then they're rolling out, I can't remember exactly what they called it, but they're rolling out that intermittenary kind of like, here's a reminder about everything that happened leading up to Lightfall.
Right.
That they said they were doing.
Yeah, I think because they've done some like stuff on their YouTube channel recently of like kind of stitching together story summaries, but like it would actually be cool to do some of that shit in the game because they've done the like, if you go on the timeline, there's like one mission you can do from like what is it, Forsaken, and then like Beyond Light. There's like 2 or 3 of those missions you can do, and they've like cut in extra lines of dialogue or like extra stuff to give it context, but it's still not great. Like I went through them just to like see what it was. And
I'm hoping it's a bunch of sunsetted content missions brought back to kind of like really early D2, but the missions have been tweaked or scrubbed up for...
Given that they've like gone through layoffs and are trying to fill a 6-month content hole, I don't think we're going to get that, because that's a lot of work to bring some of that shit up.
I'm just really curious to see what this recap thing is in-game.
Yeah.
Who knows? It might end up being a lot of fun. It might be really fun to go back and play old Destiny that none of us got to play together.
Yeah.
Because we jumped back in during the pandemic, you know, like whatever it is. It might actually be fun to revisit some older content as a group and just
like it
reminisce.
would, you know, like my early Destiny days were all on the PlayStation. Like I had 500 something hours on the PlayStation. That was mostly me playing by myself and going through story stuff and like doing strikes and shit on the side, but I would play it basically once a year when an expansion came out.
Yeah.
But that's all stuff I didn't do on my PC with people alongside me.
Yeah, and I was in a completely different clan and a different content creator group in that era. You know, for me, that era was getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning because all my friends were in the US to do raids and content and stream in some cases because my clan was all US based.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they deliver. I'm not going to hinge my hopes on it being revisiting old content, but I just think it'd be really nice. If it was, it'd be nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a bit of that. Like, I think those timeline missions are a good example of what I'd like to see. Like, yeah, you can run through the mission, but they're also, like I said, cutting in extra bits of content or like adding dialogue lines or bits of cutscenes here or there to like try to make it make more sense. I'd like to see more of that, like, because it only touched on a few points of the story. It was kind of like the first mission of each expansion. Here's a bit of that and some story. But I would love to see them expand that to like, here's a line you can follow from the beginning of the entire Destiny story through to final shape. And it's like a little bit of activities here or there, some cutscenes interspersed, some dialogue here and there that like kind of strings it all together in a cohesive way and not just like dropping into like little snippets of a TV show that's in the next apartment or something. I would also like, if we're just wishing for stuff, it'd be kind of neat to see them just like, here's a list of cutscenes, you can just watch them, but it will put your current character in them. So you can just like dress them up and do some weird shit, put on all the like the masks from the Festival of the Lost and like put on the screaming Uldren head and go into an Uldren centered cutscene and just be screaming
death
at
scene?
him. Yeah. Yeah, all of like that would be fun because like you're loading a cutscene. I would imagine that would be easier to just rebuild than an entire like mission. Yeah. I don't know, but that would be kind of fun as like a theater mode idea.
So funny. Imagine watching him get gobbled up and you're just the screaming Uldren head. Stupid ass getting munched by that servitor.
That fucking toaster one. The colonel, just chicken head.
The fucking penguin from Europa, just watching the most
beady eyes.
Haggard shit go down, and it's just there lifelessly staring.
Oh, that would actually be really funny. And then like the goofiness of like even my regular like cowboy hat build. And just like putting that in one of the very serious cutscenes.
Me as my fucking garbage deer just rolling up, covered in junk.
Well, because a lot of the cutscenes, like your character is just mostly standing in the background while other people talk because they don't actually voice your character for many lines at all. So just like really menacing looking helmet pieces would be really funny.
You reminded me of the final season of Wish. When I forgot to take off my Festival of the Lost helmet.
Yeah.
So my guardian turns around and it's just garbage can Sabathoon.
The one was like, looks surprised.
My guardian's leant over a table looking at Sabathoon's wings, and then I think it's Ikora being like, what are you doing? And it turns around. And I screenshotted it, and I think it's my Twitter banner. I think it's my Twitter banner.
Oh, that's very good.
So I sent it to you because I was like crying.
Yeah, stuff like that when that happens makes me wish I had like OBS or Shadowplay running all the time so that I could, if I forgot to screenshot something, I could just go back and grab it. There's so many little moments like that where I'm like, fuck, I wish and I can't go back and redo the cutscene with my character model in it.
And it's like, especially when it catches you off guard.
Send me that image while we're recording.
For the episode.
Yeah, I'm going to put that in the fucking thumbnail. You watch.
It's just, I completely forgot about it. So when it turned around, it was just like, huh? This so really dumb. Serious moment.
Yeah, that's what I want a theater mode for.
Yeah.
Or they could just do the thing that like every content creator wishes for and give us a photo mode. Just like detach the camera from your model, move it around.
So So much fun stuff could be done, especially with our clan
Well,
and the way we
also like
fucking carry on.
all the weird hacks and workarounds people do to get like the HUD and weapons out of the way so that they can take clean screenshots. Like, just give people a way to do that.
Kojima did.
Yeah.
The photo mode in Death Stranding is beautiful.
Yeah. Like, it's probably harder to do that with an always online game.
Yeah, true. I want to take pictures with my homies.
Yeah. There's got to be a way.
Because what we can do is we'll load in, we'll take the picture with all of our guardians, and then when we meet up in October, we'll recreate that picture IRL.
Yeah. That's the one.
Then make it the next Christmas mug.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. So we just need them to build a photo mode and then we're on.
We're in.
And then we need 6 people that would actually meet up in person.
I think we got enough.
Yeah. I mean, not all of our clan lives in the same country, for one thing.
True.
So,
but I think we've got enough.
I think we've got enough. I think we can make it happen.
There's a fun idea for everyone else who's listening. Get your homies together in game. Do a bunch of emotes, take a picture, and then when you guys meet up again, recreate it.
Load into every raid, because the opening cutscene always shows all of your guardians dropping in. Take a screenshot of each of those, and you've got a whole, like, collage to put together. You could all recreate each of those raid poses. That's pretty cool.
That's a fun thing to do with your friends outside of the game.
Yeah, but also in it a little bit.
Yeah. We're geniuses.
Yeah. You just got to get 4 friends and do it.
That's the problem, having friends.
We have friends, but yeah, it's like maybe once a year we'll see each other in person. Yeah.
But we see each other in Destiny all the time.
And Discord. And hey, PSA, if you use Discord, go and turn off the clips feature. That shit is a privacy nightmare. You could just be always recorded by other people. Fuck that. Now you know. Bad. Bad Discord. I haven't actually checked if they've said anything about it, but like, it sucks.
It's kind of funny because the people who brought it to my attention are content creators. And it's like, it's one of those things that I think only a content creator would be like,
Yeah, but
I don't want to be clipped out of context.
Yeah,
and then have that go on Twitter. Yeah. And
I mean, you could also just be, I don't know, in any Discord server with someone who is like kind of toxic and might just do that. Like, it just enables a class of behavior that like was previously, that require a bit of work, but like you could make it happen, I guess.
You'd have to have OBS running at all times, and then usually that'd cause your device to chug anyway.
Yeah,
so.
But this is Discord like enabling it for everyone and turning it on by default. So turn that shit off for the sake of your own reputation, and tell a friend about it because it's bad. Tell them to turn it off as well. Unless you don't like them. If you want to ruin them, don't tell them and then record them. But then you can't use it.
Don't give people ideas.
Yeah, but then you can't use it in a court in most Western countries because if they didn't consent to the recording, then it's not.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because they'll put it on Twitter and just get you cancelled instead.
Yeah. Yeah, and isn't that just the way? Fuck. Society was a mistake.
The court of public opinion.
It's not a real thing. Can I get a lawyer of the public opinion? Where's my public defender?
It's called Twit Longer in Google Docs.
Actually, 9 times out of 10, it's called Say Nothing and Wait for Everybody to Shut Up.
It's called Make a 2-hour video with all the evidence.
God. All right, we should get out of here. We are well past Destiny o'clock. But hey, we'll be, I don't know,
around.
We'll be around. We'll be checking in for the remainder of the time before final shape. I quite honestly don't know what that's going to look like, what we're going to talk about. But hey, come and join us. Find out together. We're going to make something happen. It's going to get weird, probably.
Bungie might be like, oh, here's some stuff.
Yeah. Maybe. We'll see what that turns into. We might just end up playing Smash or Pass Destiny Edition. I don't know. It's just Varix all the way down.
Varix all the way down.
Fuck, marry, kill, Space Wizards. Anyway, this has been Erico Blueberry, episode, I don't know, nearly 80 at a guess. Tune in next time. Like and subscribe, or don't. Tell a friend, watch the video. You got to this point, you're invested. Sucked in
Appreciate
dickhead.
you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, but also sucked in dickhead. Like the back half of this episode was not much.
We appreciate you being here, but you good?
I mean, I'd watch me, but I other people doing it? Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Easy now, Buffalo Bill.
Look, I'm full of tacos and whiskey at this point. So I'm liable to say anything, so we should turn the cameras off and get out of here before I do. And then I need to make a 2-hour apology video. Oh no.
I need to refill my wine.
Okay. These are good plans. Hey, tell a friend about Erico Blueberry? Yeah. I'm going to lean into it. Tell a friend about us. Then maybe one of them will say hi to one of us at a convention and make the other one feel sad.
What up? It's your favorite niche micro celebrity.
And the other guy, don't want to talk to him.
We'll get those hats. Mine will say, "Oh no, it's a what is it? What up? It's a very niche internet micro celebrity." And then yours will say, "Oh no, it's me again."
Just say, I'm also on the podcast. No, I don't want to identify myself as someone who does podcasts. I'm already a 30-plus-year-old white guy. Like, people can just assume it. Yeah.
In 2023, 2024. Ooh.
Yeah, I keep doing
It's
that.
assumed.
All right. Well.
It's a given.
Hey, shout out to you. See you next time.
Love you. Bye.